Okay, here in this video, guys, we're going to look at constructing our easy parallelograms. Okay, first off, I'm going to go to preferences. In preferences, I'm going to make my angles in units. Okay, and my distances are going to be in tenths. Okay, that'll just make things a little easier on us. Okay, so we'll set that. All right, so here's what we do in order to make a nice parallelogram. We draw a segment at any length. We put a point somewhere off the segment. Then what we do is we're going to do a transform. Okay, so I want to select the end point of the segment and this point up here. Okay, I want to transform and mark mark the vector there. Okay, then I want to select the segment and its endpoints. Okay, and I want to transform, translate. Okay, transform and translate. And it's got to be selected again. Select the segment and its endpoints, and then transform. It's like it's not taken. Select segments, endpoints, transform, translate. Okay, to point B. Okay, so there's my translation. Okay, and then connect these segments, these points right here, and so that will always maintain a parallel nature. All right, so I'll label those A. Okay, and I'll just label these consecutively. So this I'll relabel as D. Right. Okay, so there's my parallelogram A, B, C, D. Okay, so now so any way I alter this in its shape, it's going to be a parallelogram. There's a parallelogram, always a parallelogram. Sometimes a rectangle, sometimes a rhombus perhaps, okay, and sometimes a square, right, or a rectangle or a square. Let's see, can slide this in, slide this segment in, and make it look more like a square. Of course, I could tell better which of those it is by making some angle measurements. So let's get some angle measurements going here. Okay, so we're going to mark off some angles here. All right, so let's get some angles going here. Okay, mark off our angles. Okay, and when I mark off the angles, I can measure them a little easier. These don't appear to be right. At some point they are going to be right, but let's measure those angles. Okay. Alright, so that angle is 90. It says it's 90. It's probably faked out a little bit because it's, remember, we did the units. So that's basically a rectangle. If I want to make sure that this is a square, then I measure these lengths and make sure that they're equal. So take these lengths and measure their lengths, and when they're equal, of course, then it's a square, right? So I could try to work with that and keep that angle right, and just kind of move these until we get those equal, in which case I have a square now. Okay, so I have a square, I have a rectangle, and I have a regular a parallelogram. Okay, so all parallelograms are constructed with this shape, and by switching it, I can make the parallelogram a square or a rectangle. Okay, and then